Recording. All right, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful week of Power 10 Sports Talk. Today it is myself, Andrew Gibb. Also with me is
Brady Gibb.
Hey, I'm John. I'm
I'm
Sowko.
Brandon. Ravine.
All right, and not a whole lot of news from this week. Akron still sucks at sports. They're going for another perfect season.
You're not kidding.
Whew, that was bad. It was
Brutal.
They were not
bad.
ready for the season to start.
Yeah, they should have just
No.
not televised that and saved
They
everybody
didn't get
some
the
time.
memo.
They
They're like,
didn't.
oh, that's this week?
Like, oh, I thought it started next week.
They started recruiting me to play football for them. We know it's bad then.
They're just sending out emails to all the students. Like, hey, you want to play football? We'll give you some scholarships. We promise.
They couldn't afford me.
They pay for the players they got now.
You're not kidding.
I think only news this week. This is first week of Pac-12 football.
Yeah, Pac-12 is back.
Already have a few cancellations there.
Who got canceled this week? I didn't see any major cancellations.
You had who did
Purdue
you have?
and Wisconsin.
Yeah, that
Purdue
one
and
was a big
Wisconsin.
one. And that's really hurting Wisconsin for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
did-
be thinking
Cal and
Or
Arizona
in-
State and USC Arizona next week.
USC Arizona got. Oh no, that was USC still playing this week. They didn't get canceled, did they?
Next week they will.
Okay.
Or hold on.
Yeah, USC
Yeah.
is still playing this week.
Yeah, they're playing this week. Arizona postponed next week.
Okay.
They play Arizona
Cool.
State this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little side note: who was right on the Michigan State pick last week?
I think
Mhm.
all we've learned is if I pick Michigan to win, they lose. Part of me is just thinking pick Michigan every week and let that Ohio State bias just flow. Just have them get one win this year.
Hmm.
Hey, and Michigan's playing Indiana this week.
I don't know what
That
Hoosier
could
is,
be-
but I kind of want them to win.
If Indiana wins, that would be 2 top 25 wins this year, one against Penn State and one against Michigan,
That's more than Michigan has since Harborough got there.
right? And I don't think I've ever seen Indiana ranked 13.
Yeah,
Right now.
13 jump.
Insane.
Incredible.
I can't believe they got put so high. Your wins are against ranked Penn State, which is impressive.
Yeah, you have a
but
1-point win against Penn State, and
then
Penn
you
State
beat
drops to like
Rutgers.
20. You beat Rutgers, and boom, they
Right?
jumped into the top 20. I don't even think they're in the top 40 before.
No, they went from
No.
like not even a vote
Unranked.
to ranked 18.
Which is incredible.
Oh yeah, that's. I think
can't
that's
say the last
happened
time I watched a
often.
team do that. No, yeah. It's rare.
All right, since that's all the news we got, we'll get right into the picks. First up, we got WVU at Texas. I think West Virginia is going to keep on dethroning teams in the Big 12. Whoever the top team is, it seems like they got them in the crosshairs and get the win. I'm going to take West Virginia this week. I think they're all around really good team. Texas is stuck. It's Eilicher. That's all you got. And it's not a bash on any of the plays. It's just kind of like Eilicher's here, everyone else is here, and I don't think that's how you're going to have a consistently good team. I think West Virginia, they're across the board equally good, so I think that's how they get the win this week. Go Mountaineers! All right, Brandon.
So, and I agree with you here, Gib. As much as you have an unranked West Virginia going against a 22 Texas, looking at the stats, looking at how everything's been going for West Virginia, I see them pulling this off again, and I see them jumping into the top 25 after this week. I said one of the big things I look at when I see this game is the points per game allowed by West Virginia is 19.8. And then for Texas, it's 32.5.
Oh yeah.
That is a big mark to look at. West Virginia is going to be looking to score points, and their defense will hold Texas. Got West Virginia.
West Virginia is a wild card. Both Texas and West Virginia upset higher ranked team last week.
Mm-hmm.
I think West Virginia did it more convincingly, and I'm going Mountaineers in this pick.
All right.
West Virginia. It'll be close, but I think West Virginia on top.
All right, so you got West Virginia across the board on this one. All right, next up we got Michigan at Indiana. Like I said earlier, I think if I pick Michigan to win, they lose. So part of me's thinking, man, really just pick Michigan to win this, they lose. But I do think both teams have a point to prove. Michigan's 1-1. They're supposed to be that number 2 team in the Big Ten East. And right now, they're not looking like it. It looks like it could be Indiana. And I think Indiana's going, you guys never took us serious in football, and we're here to prove a point. We're 2-0. We beat Penn State already. They probably got their crosshairs on Michigan. They're going, we're taking your spot. We're going to take it, and we're going to hold on to it. But I think Indiana has a better pass game against that Michigan defense that allows 260 yards a game. Indiana's defense isn't much better, but still, whenever your entire scheme is on the pass and you're playing against a team that doesn't have the best pass defense, you're going to exploit that and you're going to score. And I think Indiana comes out with the win this week. Go Hoosiers.
I'd like to keep rolling with the Hoosiers. I like to see a team come out of nowhere, underdog. My biggest issue here is you have a Michigan team that just got spanked at home against Michigan State, a rivalry. They got to come back and win, or their season is nearly over before it even began. So as much as I don't want to, I think Michigan squeaks out the win here. The spread's 3.5 points. I think they're going to hit the spread. I think Michigan wins by a touchdown or 2. Indiana, I don't see them going 3-0 to start in the Big Ten. That'd be incredible, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I said before I don't buy Indiana at 13. I think they're still a good team, and what they did against Penn State is really respectable, pulling out a win like that. I just don't buy a win over Rutgers and a team in the nation. I know I say this every week, but Jim Harbaugh, he struggles against ranked teams, and this should be an easy week to prove that you can win. You can go somewhere and win against over ranked team. So I'm going to pick Michigan, but we'll see.
I got Indiana on this one. Michigan really didn't look that great last week. They also lost to a team that lost to the Rutgers.
All right, so we got it split right down the middle. All right, next up we got an American game. We got SMU at Temple. I think that SMU just has a far better offense in this game, and they're going to win this game out. It might be a high score for SMU, but I think Temple's really going to struggle this week, and I think SMU covers that 17.5 point spread with ease. That'd probably be one of the bets I'd say lock it in. Temple does not look good on any side of the ball. So give me the Mustangs winning this one big.
Yeah, I don't see how Temple even has a chance here. And here's one of the shocking stats that usually isn't a stat, is that SMU's played 7 games already.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
That's
I was
incredible.
like, how are they already at 7?
Temple has played 4. I think that is the stat of the game, even though it's not really a statistic, is that, SMU's played an extra few games, which, SMU's already proved they have the edge here, and I think they'll win.
Temple always can play a spoiler. The American Conference is brutal by cannibalizing itself every year, it seems. And I'm going to go SMU, though. Those 3 games, they've proved that they can handle adversity. They can prove that they can win from behind. And what Temple throws at them, they're ready.
All right, Brady?
I got SMU. They looked pretty good last week, and I think they got a decent passing game and running game. They will probably run all over the Temple defense.
All right, so SMU across the board. All right, next
That's
up
That's a good point, Brady, because
Yeah.
SMU's quarterback already has 16 touchdowns this season.
Oh, yeah, that's
Mhm.
an absurd – I
And
don't
he's
want to say
already
an
passed
absurd
for
number, but
2,000 yards. That's
If not
just
for the
already
Cincinnati
incredible.
game, he could be on pace for 20 right now.
yeah.
Yes.
But again, like Brandon said, he's already at 7 games this year. So why he might be higher than everyone else is just like, man, you played the most games. I bet if you look at it
Absolutely.
after this week, somehow he will have passed Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. And it's like, oh, he's great. And it's like, nah, he just played way more games than they did. All right, so next up, we got Arizona State at USC. I think
I mean, Clemson's also at 7.
oh, they are?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Clemson's at 7. Notre Dame's at 6.
Huh. All right. Yeah, so next up, yeah, we got Arizona State at USC. And I do think that this is not going to be the start the Pac-12 wants to have be on TV. It's not going to be a high scorer. I think UFC makes great college quarterbacks. They don't translate well to the NFL, so I think that they are able to really exploit that in the college level. But it's definitely an issue that always plagues them every year, and it's one thing that I think it's going to be tough to get past in terms of having a good team overall. It's having some quarterback that is better than just college level. But I think USC gets the win this week. It's not going to be a high score, but USC still will win it. All right, Brandon.
Yeah, this could be an ugly one. I think you throw statistics out the board or out the window here just because it's the first game. And it's the first game and it's already going into this. We're just finishing up the first week in November. I mean, we're 2 full months behind the typical start of the season here. So I think, statistics out the window. Arizona State's up and coming. They're only on year 3 with
Herm Edwards.
Yes, with
Yeah.
Herm Edwards as the head coach. So you're finally starting to see his guys coming in as recruits. So I think that'll be a big telltale sign on where he's bringing that program. I'm going to take Arizona State here. I'd like to see them start off with a win.
All right.
I think I'm also going Arizona State. Herm Edwards. You said that the USC quarterback doesn't always translate to the NFL. They do so very poorly. And you have Herm Edwards, an experienced NFL coach. He's running an NFL system down there. I think he can exploit that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Brady.
I got USC. I think they looked pretty good last year. I think they could come out even better this year.
Yeah, and that is something I consider too. Is it's that previous year's success sometimes carries over. And I think USC being so high ranked last year, it's tough to be like, oh no, out of nowhere they're going to be terrible. But they
think
might
they're gonna be
lose
terrible.
some. Yeah,
No.
I
you
think
lost
this is
Michael
where
Pittman.
Arizona State is going to be much better than they were.
They're able to catch up in this off time
Yes.
that the Pac-12 has been having.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up we have Liberty at Virginia Tech. Liberty's ranked, and it's same as BYU,
Painful.
and I hate it. It's that they're an independent team, so they can pick their games. And whenever you look at it, they're playing nobodies, just like BYU. And Virginia Tech has had some quality games where I think they've held contention.
I mean, BYU just wiped a
they
top
just
20
wiped
team.
Boise State. I will say they did wipe Boise State, but after Boise State, they're back to nobodies. But I do think that there's that independent bias where it's like they are undefeated, so they should get a rank, even though they're playing nobodies. But I think Virginia Tech is going to keep it close this week and get the win and show that being in a conference does make you better just by having a consistent competition that's always going to be pushing you versus being an independent and every year you're playing a whole new sort of teams and not knowing what you're going up against. But I'm going to take Virginia Tech winning this one really close.
I'm going to take Virginia Tech winning really big. And that's just because they've had the games that'll test a team and get them ready to just start mopping the floor with some of these independent teams that truly don't play anybody.
Yeah.
I think Virginia Tech, they had a close loss against North Carolina, who's currently ranked number 8. I think that really propels the team and it really makes them better. So I think we got Virginia Tech. I think they're easily going to hit the line of 16.5. I'm going to take Virginia Tech by 28 today.
All right.
Wow. I'm also going Virginia Tech. This is a 4-2 team, but this is a very good team. You look at those 2 losses, one to Wake Forest, a close one, and one to North Carolina, who's very highly ranked. They had the lead on North Carolina for quite a bit. They had to come back and win it.
Yep.
So,
like you said, Andrew, Liberty does play nobody teams, but I think that they can come out and show that their 6-0 ranking, 6-0 record is actually meaning something this week.
All right, Brady, you're going to be the odd man out on this and take Liberty?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, we got to at least make it look like we're not all reading the same sheet of paper. All right.
You got to go against the grain sometimes to get a leg up
yeah.
on people. So maybe you got that.
Yep. All right. So next up, we got UMass at Marshall.
Marshall.
Oh boy, 44.5 point spread. Damn, that's a big gap. I think Marshall's gonna hit that goal. I think UMass is a team that nobody ever really knows about having a football team, and I think Marshall is one that's trying to find that former glory again. I'm gonna take Marshall winning this one big. They're gonna try and come out, be big, and be heard.
Nice.
Yeah, so UMass's current points per game are 0 because they didn't score a point in their opener. They lost 41-0.
Who is that against?
That was against who was Georgia Atlantic? Georgia Southern. I'm sorry.
Georgia
boy,
Southern.
Georgia.
Yeah, 41-point loss. Yeah, they're gonna cover that spread of 44.5. Actually, I'm going to go just under the spread, but Marshall, big.
Yeah.
I think UMass fares better than they did last week, but
they can get points.
Yeah, Marshall is playing very well. They may not appear to be among the elite of the group of 5, but they are very close. I think they have something to prove, especially seeing these other non-power 5 schools like BYU wipe the floor. Cincinnati wiped the floor with SMU last week.
Yeah,
they have something to prove that they belong in the bowl game conversation.
Yeah.
I got Marshall on this one. I just think that the UMass not getting points last week is really going to affect, but they could capitalize on defense for a couple stops, maybe score sometime. But
yeah.
I still got Marshall on this one.
All right. So we got Marshall across the board. All right, next up we got Florida at Georgia. This is my game. I say everyone should have on their TVs this week. If you can't get it on your TV, be watching the game. This is going to be the game that everyone should be watching. I think that is a battle of 2 great teams early in the season even. Bulldogs are still my favorite to win the SEC. I don't know if it's just because I want Alabama out of that top spot or what, but Georgia's impressed me thus far. Yeah, they had that loss to Alabama, but I think that just makes you hungrier. And I think that this is going to be a shootout, and this is going to come down to whoever is the more well-rounded team this week, and I think that is Georgia. So go Bulldogs.
Yeah, so this is going to be a close one. I agree with you, though. This is definitely one of the 2 games you should be watching this week. I think it should be this and then the Clemson-Notre Dame game. So I think the plan would be is to go get some beer, watch this game at 3:30. You got a break. That's time for food, someone to pick you up to get you more beer because you're obviously not driving by then, and then drinking more during the Clemson-Notre Dame game because you're going to need it. Or Brady, whatever you like to drink, if it's Mountain Dew, if it's iced tea. Propel's great.
Some Propel, I think you got some Dr. Pepper downstairs.
That's good. But I think I agree. This is definitely one of the 2 games you want to watch this week. I think it's going to be a really close one. If Florida wins this really puts them in the top for the top 5. And if Georgia loses, kiss number 10 goodbye. You're going, ranked probably 14, 15.
You're floating down the river at that point.
Yeah. So I really would like to see Florida win this. I really want to see some talk of Florida again. It's been since Tim Tebow was there that they really did something great.
Boy.
So,
Tim Tebow and the rest of that team. It wasn't just Tim Tebow. Think about what everyone else did on that team.
They had God on their side.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely did.
I'll go Florida.
All right.
In their last ranked matchup 2 weeks ago against Texas A&M, number 7, it was close, but they couldn't pull it off in the end. I think they reverse course this week. They learn, and they're able to it's going to be a close one, obviously. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I think they have more experience with close games than Georgia does.
So you're going to take Florida in this
I'm
one?
going to take Florida.
I
All right,
got
Brady?
Georgia on this one. I think it'll be a really close game, but I think that Georgia might allow a few touchdowns, but will definitely capitalize on offense.
All right. I swear Brady does not have the same sheet of paper I do in his coffee and my picks. All right. Next up, we got Houston at Cincy. Cincy should be top 5. I'm going to keep shouting that from the rooftops. They're out
Hell
here
yeah,
killing it. They're looking good. They're playing good. I think Cincy's a top 5 team. I think they get a big win this week. They get that top 5 spot, and they're going to be looking hot on that black turf this week.
Now, if you end up and you have an option to have 2 games on at once, which would be always the goal. The more games on at one time, the better. This is also a 3:30 matchup that you want to have on your TV just to watch Cincinnati mop the floor again and really put their name out there for why they should be a top 5 team. Cincinnati.
This is a Cincinnati program. They always play with the chip on their shoulder. They're always undervalued, underappreciated, and I think they go out there and show it again. This is a defense that is championship caliber. Opposing quarterbacks, this is literally a stat. It is more beneficial for their QBR to throw it into the ground, spike the ball every time against throwing against that UC secondary. And
Really?
I mean championship caliber. This is a top 5 defense. And
that is a rare
Ritter
team in the NFL.
Very much so. Ritter, who I think has been the weak spot of this UC offense, the only part that hasn't been playing up to snuff, has killed it the last 2 weeks with 10 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah.
I got Cincy on this one. Really looked great last week, and they will have a awesome passing game. And I love the jerseys and the tears, so Cincy.
Yeah. Hey, if you look good, you play good. If you play good, you win.
Feel good, look good.
Yeah. So as long as you look good, you win. That's all that matters. That's what I'm learning here. All right. So next up, we got Kansas at Oklahoma. This is going to be a bona fide ass whooping. I think Kansas looks pathetic. I think some of the better high school teams in the state of Ohio might beat Kansas. I think this is the major change. There needs to be some major changes at Kansas if you want to even get a win. I think Sooners get a huge win this week. I don't think it puts them back in the talks for the playoffs, but maybe it gets you back in the talk for maybe a New Year's 6 game. But this is this week where it's like put the pedal down, just score as much as you can, try and make that statement that we still want a top game. We still can compete. So give me Oklahoma win this one. Go Sooners.
Yeah, I got Oklahoma here as well. I really don't think a win here will propel them to the top 5. I don't know if a win here will even put them in the top 10. I think a win here probably moves you up to number 12. Like you said, you're playing a very mediocre Kansas State team. So they give up a lot of yards per game. They give up a lot of points per game. That defense really just can't keep up, especially with an elite offense like Oklahoma seems to bring every year. Oklahoma.
Yeah. This is entering year 2 of the Les Miles experiment down in Kansas, and they're showing no signs of turning it around. I don't know where you go from here as a football program. Les Miles is a premier coach. He took LSU to multiple national championships. Yeah. And if he can't turn around your program, your best shot is Nick Saban or fold.
Yeah.
So I'm going Oklahoma in a big one.
I got Oklahoma because Kansas really showed us last week that they're way better at basketball. So if you just put that basketball team on there, maybe they'll play a little bit better. Go
Yeah, just
Oklahoma.
have that. Just play your basketball team on both sides of the ball. You might do better that way.
Just
I
put all
think
the tall
Oklahoma will
centers on
put
the
up a
field.
college basketball score on them.
Oh yeah, and like Brandon said, I don't think this gets you top 10, but it's definitely one where it's like make the statement and get the big win, and it kind of helps. And then if you
Like,
can get
put you
another
top
win next
15.
week, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
top 15. But I think this is just one of those. It's a statement win that helps make the case for if you play a better team and can get the win there. Hey, they come out, they put up big points, they're having fun doing it. All this. I think
One,
this is just your
mhm.
week. Make the statement that you are here. You may have had some missteps, but you are still here, and you still are going to put up points on anyone.
One thing the committee does look at is winning games you're supposed to and how convincingly you win them. And I think this
Yeah.
is a week for that.
Exactly. All right. So next up, we got Oklahoma State at Kansas State. The Mullet may have lost to West Virginia last week, but he is going to come back with a vengeance this week. I think they are still hungry. They're going to grind this one out and get a win. I think Chuba Hubbard, he's been a little bit off, not having his normal games like he did last year. I think now is your make or break for Chuba Hubbard, and he knows that. It's go big this week, or it's kind of, hey, you're going to fall back to fifth or sixth round in the draft. You're going to be some guy's backup pretty much your whole career. So I think this is the week that he goes and says, I'm here, I'm going, nothing's going to stop me. So give me the Cowboys winning this one.
Hey, don't knock backups. Backups get paid. They don't play, and they
They
don't get
do,
hurt.
I know.
So hey, that's my dream position in
but
the
the
NFL.
starter
be a
gets paid
backup.
more.
That's okay. I don't need
Okay.
multi-millions. I'm playing a sport I love, and I get paid, and I don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Taking Oklahoma State, I should say.
All right.
I'm also taking Oklahoma State. Kansas State, they started the season hot, and they've cooled down a bit. And Oklahoma State had a convincing win at Texas had a convincing win against them last week, but they rebound.
All right. Brady?
Where is it at? Oklahoma. Oh yeah, I said there will be no defense, but I'm pretty sure that Oklahoma State will capitalize and get the dub.
I will say Oklahoma State's defense is very good. They are a decent defense and phenomenal by Big 12 standards.
All right. Yeah, this one, I don't think a lot of people are going to take Oklahoma State losing this one. They are a very good team. All right, so next up, we only got a couple more games. We got A&M at South Carolina. This is one I really couldn't make a pick either way. I think it is going to be a close one. It's definitely going to be close on this, and it's going to take everything you got in the gas tank from both teams to get a win. But I think A&M just has a little bit more on them, and they're going to get a win, and it's going to be close. I'm talking 3 or less points.
This is my upset of the week. I'm taking an unranked South Carolina beating a Texas A&M team that's currently ranked 7 because South Carolina's got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. South Carolina.
Right.
I do like that, but I still think Texas A&M in this one. This is a very underrated South Carolina program, much better than their record indicates. But
Yeah.
I think Texas A&M holds them off.
I got A&M in this one. I think they got a pretty good passing game. They might give up a couple touchdowns, but they might just kill them on offense when they get the chance.
All right, Brandon, it looks like you're the odd man out on this one.
Hey, like I said, you got to be.
You took the
going against
upset,
grain
so.
sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we only got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 more games. And first ones for these night games, I think. We got Baylor at Iowa State. This is going to look like your standard run-of-the-mill Big 12 game for Iowa State. All offense, no defense. I think Baylor always puts out a slightly better defense than they do an offense. But I do think that they still have this weakness in them that they can't really pull out wins whenever it comes clutch time. But I'm going to take the Cyclones win this. They are the best defense in the Big 12. Like my dad said 3 weeks ago, that's like being the cleanest urinal at the county fair. It doesn't mean a whole lot. I still think their defense won't hang against any other conference games. But I'm gonna take Iowa State win this one, but I think Baylor's gonna keep it close.
I'll keep this one short, sweet, and to the point. I-State, high-scoring game, Big 12, no defense.
I'm also going Iowa State here. I think they're this is another underrated team.
All
right.
Iowa State, good running game, and we'll capitalize on defense.
All right, next up we got Clemson at Notre Dame. This is the one Brandon was talking about, was the other one you should be watching this week. I, on the other hand, don't think as much. I think with Trevor Lawrence out, we saw last week, Clemson doesn't have it without Trevor Lawrence. You almost lost to Boston College, who just 3 or 4 years ago couldn't win a game. And maybe it's they turn their program around and they're great, or Trevor Lawrence is your key to success. And without him, I don't think you have it to win this week. I think Notre Dame wins it. I think it's going to be around a touchdown, a 7 to 10 point game. But I think Clemson's key to success is Trevor Lawrence, and having him out with COVID is going to cost you. These backups aren't built the same. And I'm going to take Notre Dame winning this one. As much as I hate picking independents, I'm going to take Notre Dame winning this.
Notre Dame is in the ACC now.
For a year. All right, for a year.
Side note here, though. In all seriousness, though, Notre Dame needs this win. They need it as a program. Ian Book needs it as a quarterback. They need it as a coaching staff. They need it to say, hey, we can beat a top team. You know, I think this is going to be a big statement game. Notre Dame wins this. I think they could be in the Final Four this year.
Yep.
I'm picking Notre Dame. I really hope so. I'm a Notre Dame fan, which helps. But yeah, I'm taking Notre Dame with the upset.
All right.
I agree. Notre Dame needs this as a program. Brian Kelly needs it as a coach. Everyone needs this. There's a stigma, a taboo around Notre Dame that they cannot win these top
big
games.
Yeah.
They go into playoffs and everyone says they're overrated, and they prove it. I think they need a win, and this is one time to do it without a Trevor Lawrence, who is the lifeblood of your program right now.
Yeah.
And we saw last week against Boston College. Boston College came out hot, but they found a way to win. But I think the experience that Book has, he's coming up on Notre Dame's all-time passing leader, almost up on Brady Quinn.
Yes.
All right.
And
just
I
know,
think
this is South Bend tonight.
I think this is Notre Dame's week.
All right. And Brady?
I got Notre Dame in this one. Clemson almost lost to Boston College, which isn't not good for them. And I think the Irish can pull it off this week.
All
I
right.
think that they'll stop them on offense and do whatever they can on defense.
Yeah. And like Brandon said, oddly enough, this is an upset. As Notre Dame is a 6-point underdog against a Clemson team without Trevor Lawrence. Maybe Vegas is wrong, and we all get to cash in on this. But we're a little bit low on time, so I think this next game is gonna be really easy and save us some time. OSU at Rutgers. Personally, I think OSU is absolutely the best team in the Big Ten. Rutgers may have gotten lucky, I don't know, but I'm gonna take OSU winning this one.
I got OSU as well, of course, Ohio State fan here, but I think this playoff predictor is really big for Ohio State here. Another statement win. You know, they're going to have to win a big game down the road here, but I think this is big for Ohio State to keep rolling.
Yeah.
Hey, don't count out this Rutgers team. They beat the team that beat Michigan. I'm going Ohio State in a big one.
All right.
I got
Getting
Ohio
clean as
State,
urinal at the
Master
county
T,
fair.
we just run all over them.
Yep. All right. So Ohio State across the board. All right. So next we got the other Pac-12 ranked game this week, Stanford at Oregon. I think Oregon gets the win this week. I think they're going to take that great success they had last year, carry it on through this year. Same thing, Cincinnati. You look good, you play good, you win. So I think Oregon gets the win this week, and they're going to probably be our leaders in the Pac-12.
I'm going Oregon as well here. They always look good. Oregon does.
Oh, they get new jerseys from Nike every
They
week.
get
Come
new
on.
jerseys every week.
I'm
it's
going
first
Oregon
game.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, were you finished?
Oh, yeah, I'm finished.
All right,
Okay,
Brady.
yeah.
I got Oregon. I think that they can defeat this year.
All right, and our late game this week. This is one. If you would have asked me about 3 weeks ago what the hell a Chanticleer was, I would have said, "What is that?" I thought you mean a chandelier. I am taking Coastal Carolina, being the New Year's Six game of the year, beating South Alabama, winning the conference, getting a New Year's Six. Oh, they are electric. They got me drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's go,
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Chanticleers. Come on, baby.
You got me. I'm going Chanticleers.
Chandeliers.
Coastal Carolina had a very convincing blowout win, 51 points they put up. And I think even at 5-0, people were like, I'm not sure about this team. They seem like a fluke. And they go out there and prove it with that massive production there.
I
All
got
right,
Coastal
Brady.
Carolina. They got a really good passing game and their defense will stop.
All right.